got a little curious, and then I think Raj, you know about this one. So what is this one that's specific? Sign up in front of the food bank.
So this sign went up just recently. The food bank, was opened September last year, I believe.
Yes.
And they just put up this X sign. But there's a story behind this. But the story goes where Mrs. Perot, Ross Perot's mom, very generous people, right? Anybody who knocked on their door never left hungry, right? So if a hungry person, traveler was passing by and they knocked on their door, they knew they could get a meal there. So one of the hungry person, actually what he did was he put an X on the ground of the Perot family home. That way other hungry people will know that, hey, this
If
home,
you see the sign, that
if
means
you see the X, this home provides food, right? So that thing took off, and in honoring the Perots and what they have meant for the food bank and what they have meant for the community here, the food bank went ahead and put this signage.
What a wonderful concept to adopt for, So yes, now we know the secret of this sign, and definitely I think we all need to put that and adopt that sign in front of our houses. What do you all say, right?
There you go, exactly.
Thank you so much for joining today. So let's talk about your project of IAC. Give us a little intro about what this organization is and how are we contributing to the WHO.
Sure. First of all, thank you very much, Anu. It's good to be on your show. And for our listeners, IAC actually stands for Indian American Council. The unique thing about IAC is not even an organization. It is a movement. It is a 100% volunteer-driven movement where, in the spirit of give where you live, we are enabling and we are catalyzing the Indian American community to come together around the cause of hunger. Hunger is a shocking thing. Not only we typically think of hunger as an issue in third world countries, emerging countries, etc. But when Aradhana and I, when we came to know about the hunger issue right here in North Texas, in North America, we were shocked. I mean, the numbers were just mind-boggling. 800,000 people in North Texas don't know where the next meal is coming from. That's 1 in 6 North Texans. That's 1 in 4 school-going children. I mean, they use a term called food challenge. Now, food challenge, I thought was a fancy term. But think of food challenge as this way, that while the child is in school, at least he or she is getting subsidized meals or free meals. But when they leave home on Friday, while most kids look forward to the weekend, they dread the weekend because their next full meal is Monday when they come back. So when Aradha and I found out about that, we said we got to do something about it. The easiest thing to do is to write a check. Well, we had written our checks, but we said we can do more than that. And that's when, Aradha, maybe you want to elaborate about how we enable, how we energize.
Yeah. Another thing, not only were we unaware of the hunger around us, when we volunteered with the food bank, we didn't see very many other Indians volunteering.
Right.
So we thought, Indians are a very generous group. So what is the issue here? And we figured, okay, just as we were not aware of the hunger here, maybe others are not either, because this topic never comes up in our parties, right?
Right.
So we started talking to people, and everybody who heard about it, they said, oh, whatever you're doing, count us in.
Right.
Right? So the movement grew, and we said, okay, let's start something called the Indian American Council.
Named as IAC.
IAC, we call it IAC. But, to Raj's point, it's not an organization.
Absolutely.
It's
a
just
movement.
people who are wanting to do good for where they live. Right? So our intention with Indian American Council is, number 1, help fight the hunger issue locally. Number 2, be known as a community that is showing leadership in fighting hunger.
True.
Where we live.
Absolutely. Well, Raja, I have to thank you for making me a part of this movement as well, because being a captain, it is a lot of responsibility for the project, that upcoming project that I'm going to talk about. But also the uniqueness of this organization is the project named itself as Hunger Mitao.
Yes.
So tell us, two different names, and
Yeah.
also the logo itself is so unique.
Yes, yes. So actually, both Anna and I, and by the way, we use Anna and Aradhana
Right.
interchangeably. So we both come from the corporate world.
Right.
So when this whole idea of raising awareness for of the hunger issue within our community came up, the first thing we did was we applied our learnings from our corporate world. So we did a strategic plan.
Sure.
Right? As part of the strategic plan, it is very important to have what they call a strategic intent, a slogan, something that the whole group can rally behind. And that is where around the dining table, as we were having conversation, we threw a lot of terms that will hit the hearts of the individual who is hearing it for the first time, he or she. And we took an English word, hunger, and we took an Indian word, mitao, which is wipe out.
Yeah.
We put it together, and that kind of grew on us.
Absolutely.
And then the North Texas Food Bank team helped us put the graphics together, and Hunger Mitao has stuck so well that today the CEO of North Texas Food Bank, she ends her speeches by saying Hunger Mitao.
That's awesome. That's really awesome.
And actually, just two words and nothing more needs to be
Right.
said.
It's
Right? There's no
yes. It just
explanation
gets-
necessary.
Absolutely.
It's just Hunger Mitao.
And you have done many projects through this Hunger Mitao, like the throughout all the U.S. and
Yes.
different cities.
Sure.
And last year also you raised millions
Mhm.
of meals. So tell us that how did you come up with that idea, and also how did it help?
Right. So we felt hunger is hunger, right? If we have a good model here that works for the North Texas Food Bank area, the North Texas region,
Okay.
we said why not scale it so that we can actually start addressing, making a dent in hunger issues in other cities. And again, like Anna said earlier, we have a twofold vision. One is to fight hunger. Second is to change the image of the Indian American community. Let that our community be recognized as a giving community. We are already known as, law-abiding citizens,
Sure.
professionals, CEOs of the best companies. Our children are spelling bee champions, right? So we are already known for all of this, but we are not known for the philanthropy side, the giving side. So we figure
Especially
this is
volunteering.
especially volunteering.
Even though we are ourselves, but we are not really.
Right, and also
going out.
not necessarily here.
Right.
That's another thing we're trying to change. That there are issues right here in our own backyard. This country has given us a lot,
Absolutely.
right? I mean, almost every
Blessing.
Indian story that you can see, you'll see that opportunities and things that this country has given us. And we need to look at what are issues here that we can actually make an impact, right? So that's why we basically took this model once it was working here, and in some cases actually there was a pull from other food banks. So the Houston Food Bank, when they heard about it, they said, we have a large Indian community here, why don't you come and implement it? We implemented that, and Anu, in the very first hour of the launch, on October 22nd, I believe we launched last year in Houston, in the very first hour, we raised 1 million meals. 10 generous Indian American individuals, business leaders, they stepped up, and when they heard the story, besides wiping out the tears in their eyes, they said, we each commit to 100,000 meals. And in an hour, we raised 100,000. So IAC is up and running in Houston. IAC was also launched this year in New York. In 10 minutes, we raised 610,000 meals in New York City. So the Indian community, our friends, is a generous community. They were not aware of this issue. Once we were able to effectively communicate to them about the issue, they're basically knocking the door down to come out and figuring out ways to engage. And let me just expand on that. IAC is a very simple model. We basically believe there are 4 ways through which you can actually make a dent in hunger. So as a community, because we don't want people to say, okay, I want to help, but I don't know how. There are 4 ways in which you can help. One, first and foremost, be aware of the hunger issue.
Right.
Don't be ignorant.
Right.
You're living in a society, and if people are hungry around you and you're ignorant about it, that's not right. Right? You will be called out. So be aware of the hunger issue. That's one. Second, volunteer. Just like many people are coming out today to volunteer, come on, give 2.5 hours of your time.
The time is as well worth it as this.
Very well worth
Absolutely.
it. There are 40,000 people who volunteer each year at the food bank. That is why they are able to keep the cost so low. $1 donated to the food bank provides 3 meals.
Wow.
Where do you think can be possible unless there were volunteers? So volunteering is something we are encouraging, and I want to share with you. We are so excited that we'll be closing into our second year as of IAC existence in September, and already about 2,500 or 3,000 people
Have volunteered.
have volunteered.
Of
Yep.
Indian.
And I'm not talking about the only one time, multiple. So there, volunteering is really taken off.
So clearly, awareness was key.
Awareness was key. Volunteering has increased. The third pillar is food drive. Again, majority of the food that the food bank gets is donated food. Whether it is from individuals like us, from organizations like Walmart, Kroger, from government programs, etc.
Or
So
companies like General Mills.
General Mills, yeah.
So they all match the
No, they actually provide.
They donate food.
They donate food.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, very little is purchased actually. Why it is purchased is to ensure that it is nutritious.
Right.
So, but majority of the food that they get is donated. So we ask people. In fact, at our home, we have basically told people when they come to our home for festivals, like we have a big Janmashtami celebration every year, right? We tell people don't bring flowers, don't bring sweets. Krishna used to love butter, so why don't you bring peanut butter? That's what we say, and people bring peanut butter and we donate peanut butter to the food bank. So we have basically asked people to, please, at any event at your home, right, do a food drive, right? Because everything else is wasted and excess. You don't need any more sweets and mithai and nothing like that. And the fourth item that I just wanted to close on is that funds.
Right.
Funds are still very important. Again, they provide 72 million meals each year. So they do need funds to make sure that they maintain these facilities, distribution, they have trucks running to the pantries and things of that nature. So funds are always very critical. So these are the 4 ways through which any Indian, regardless of where they are starting their journey in their career and they cannot give money. We say that's okay, give an hour of your time, right? We cannot give an hour of time. Okay, you may have some excess cans in your pantry. How about donating a couple cans of beans or rice or whatever? There are many ways to engage.
I feel once somebody is aware, they'll figure out a way. Right? And there are these 4 ways, and one of those will fit.
Absolutely.
Right?
Just thanks to for a family for providing such a huge facility here to store and maintain and also distribute, and it's not a small thing to do, and we are all really grateful for that. And coming to that one, let me ask you, I know that both of you have adopted this one as a full-time project, and and you took early retirement to commit to this specific the Hunger Meetup project. So it must have caused a great impact on you to be so serious about this one and just to go and plan this one, okay, we got to do this one. So what is the statistics that really changed your mind to go for it?
Well, I don't know.
Yeah, let me start on that. So we retired because we were done with corporate life.
We are done.
Okay.
And we looked at how much we would need to live out our lives. Our kids were grown. So we said, okay, we've got enough now, let's do what we really want to do. So travel, spending time with family, and doing philanthropy, increasing that part was our intention. Right? So life was going on, and suddenly one day Raj comes back from a meeting with the Plano mayor, and where we found out about hunger in Plano schools.
Even a big city like Plano has it.
And he came home and he told me, he's like, did you know 1 in 4 kids is hungry? I'm like, where? I said, Plano. I said, the kids here drive better cars than I do. I mean, there's affluence. That is the number.
Right.
So we talked to the food bank. That was almost like our first formal connection. We were like, okay, we need to dig through this. We cannot just, wish that it goes away. And we found out the numbers. The 1 in 4 kids, the 800,000 people, and how much needs to be done, and the efficiency of the food banks, that $1 can enable 3 lives. So that is when we got started. So then when Raj and I used to volunteer, and we didn't see very many Indians here, we said, okay, we are committed to giving our own funds, but I think we can do more. Right? We can get
Just
our
the funds
friends.
are not enough.
It's not enough because funds are given and they are spent.
Correct.
Right? how
You
do
say
we change something?
one and done deal.
It's
yeah.
a one and done deal,
Right.
right? So we said, okay, how about if our entire community gets behind this problem, right? So it does two things. Number one, it moves the needle, right? Because all the efforts are kind of galvanized. Secondly, it brings the whole community together around one issue. So when all the community is fighting against one thing,
Right.
we are able to make a larger impact. So that was our intention. That's when we told the food bank, we'll give 3 years of our life to the food bank. So 100% volunteers, husband and wife working together on the same thing. There's very little sleep, right? It's
Yeah,
like
actually,
owning your business.
it's more than a full-time job in a way, because we really spend 16 to 18-hour days basically thinking about hunger and how to fight hunger, how to continue to get the word out to the Indian community at large. And now, especially since we are scaling it to other cities, I mean, our mind is spinning. We need, our friend Colleen, who was involved with the food bank, she was the chief philanthropy officer. She's half Indian actually. She says, anytime you launch a IAC in other cities, you need to find your Raj and Anand. So
You need to find your clothes.
yeah, we did definitely stick on it
Yeah.
because this movement is really taking off.
Right.
But I know, yes, you need people who are dedicated and who have the time, who are willing to give time to this. But through this, we have discovered so many people in the Indian American community
Correct.
who are as passionate,
Right.
right?
Oh, absolutely.
I mean,
Absolutely.
You've talked to several people here
Yes.
today.
Yes.
I mean, without them, this effort would have fizzled,
Yes.
right?
So let's talk about the results of the effort. Would you want to hear that?
Oh, absolutely. We want to hear the result also.
Right.
Before that, let's talk also a little bit about. I know that this summer you have adopted the peanut butter.
Yes,
Right. So,
yes.
just in a brief, let's also tell that one to our viewers,
Yeah.
like what it is.
Sure.
Because it's probably people must be wondering, like, what they need peanut butter.
Yeah.
So let's introduce that one.
Sure. So I'll talk about first of all, August is India's Independence Day month.
Correct.
Right? So last year was our first year as IAC, and we were discussing it with some other colleagues. I said, won't it be great that India's Independence Day typically comes and goes, and other than a parade here and there, most people don't even know about it.
Right.
How about we recognize India's Independence Day also as Independence from Hunger Day? Independence from Hunger Day. And that's when the whole idea came up. So besides one day, we said, okay, then let's bookend the week of August 15. So we call it the Hunger Mitao Week.
Absolutely.
And then said during that time frame, we want a community at large to do food drives in their neighborhood, in their temples, in their gurudwaras, at the workplace, wherever they want. Right? I mean, even one can will make a difference. Right? So our goal was the Hunger Mitao Week, let's do as many food drives as possible. Last year when we launched this thing, we were discussing this in June, July, and one of the things we do at IAC is that we don't sit and analyze and paralyze. We just execute. A good idea, let's do it. Because even if we try and fail, guess what? We are still able to feed a few more people. That's the spirit with which
And
we
the
do it.
awareness has been generated.
And the awareness is generated. So this year, because last year was so successful, where we were able to raise about 2,500 pounds of peanut butter, right? So this year, are you ready?
Yes,
What's our
absolutely.
goal is?
Because I myself am part of
Part
that.
of
I'm
this
one of
thing?
the captains here.
You
so-
know it.
You know
Yes.
it. So for our listeners, this year we are going 10-fold increase. Our goal this year is to raise 25,000 pounds of peanut butter just from the
Excellent.
Indian American community.
And we can do it.
And we can do
Yes.
it, and guess what? When we put that message out on social media,
Right.
right here in that room over there, it was a packed room. We had about 40 captains,
Absolutely.
people who said that, hey, I will personally commit to raising 500 pounds of peanut butter.
Absolutely.
I will have my friends do peanut butter drive. I will have people, come in and I'll send the messages out to my network, etc. So typically this is done, so they did request one thing, which is rather than just 1 week, let's make the entire month of August as the Hunger Mitao month. So what started as an Independence from Hunger Day went to Hunger Mitao Week, now it is Hunger Mitao month, right? So August 1st was just yesterday, day before yesterday. But guess what? Even before we entered August 1st, the community members are so passionate about it. We already blew past halfway mark. We have already
Fantastic.
raised over 12,500 pounds of peanut butter / dollars.
Somewhere out there in my car.
That will take us to 20,000. So yeah, so the community has stepped up in a big way. This is the month, friends. If you are listening, just go to ntfb.org/IAC, and you can click on the button and you can donate online to the peanut butter drive and make a difference. If you are ambitious and you want to do a drive of your own, that also is there. You can just click on the give food, and they can show you the instructions on how to submit a food drive.
And also, if it is too difficult for all of you to just, be part of it or sign up. I know with the busy schedule people, but just come, and if you want to donate, just tell them that you're donating to IAC and
yeah.
are part of that, this peanut butter goes. So that will be an awesome help for
Absolutely.
towards this one.
Right.
So.
Absolutely.
Anna, you want to talk about peanut butter, right?
Sure, I'd love to. So the food bank needs all kinds of food, right? All food groups. This year we are focusing on peanut butter because schools are about to be starting, right? And the pantries especially request peanut butter because it's high protein, it's got great shelf life, it's easy for kids and seniors alike, doesn't require cooking. I mean, just for all of those reasons, peanut butter is this year's wish. Yeah.
Well, we are going to work towards raising more and more and to reach our goal. And so tell us, with all this project, it's time for us to know, what is the result?
Okay.
I think, we all need to hear that.
Yeah. So wonderful. So when we again launched IAC on September 27th of 2017, we also knew the psyche of our Indian community because we are Indians. We love winning. I mean, cricket, right? Even in our schooling system, it was the ranking system. So we are always, fighting to win. So we felt unless we set an ambitious goal that the community can see, it really will be difficult to have them rally around it. So we started this thing called a Million Meal March, right at the launch time. And we committed to the food bank that the Indian community will enable 1 million meals.
So 1 million meals, however, a Million Meal March did not mean that we will stop at a million.
Yeah.
Our intention was, these fast food chains say, 1 billion customers served. Our intention was that we will count in increments of a million.
The impact we're making in a million meals. But we had no idea when we launched this thing that how the community will respond. This was a calculated risk in a way. Right? So we basically said, okay, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't happen, we go 500,000 meals, that's okay. But we are so proud to share with you that once the word got out, and Anna and I, we did over 100 awareness sessions in the very first year. I mean, this is from 2 people in Starbucks to 20,000 people at Diwali Mela. We got up there and talked about hunger issue, the need for the community to get involved, etc. So the result of that and awareness and volunteering, in 6 months, we blew past the first million. 4 months after that, second million. 2 months after that, third million. And we just got the numbers from June end quarter. The food bank has informed us that the Indian community has enabled 4 million meals.
Wow.
In less than 2 years.
In less than 2 years.
And that is just in North Texas. I'm so proud to be in India. So proud of our community. Once they heard about it, they rallied around it. And because we replicated this model in Houston and in New York City, collectively, we have now, as an Indian community in America, enabled 6 million meals. Our goal is to end the year by 10 million meals. 10 million is 1 crore in Indian terms. So we will be able to touch the 1 crore mark of meals the Indian community enabled and fed the Americans.
And we will be, definitely, IAC will be successful. We want to be really, highlight of this year's project as well. So, absolutely, good luck with this project, and we would love to invite all the communities to this one. And please go to the website and try to donate as much as possible, and invite your communities as well. And this is hands together and you can make a big difference in
Right.
this one.
Yeah, the website is ntfb.org/IEC. And friends, you can donate right now. That's okay. Please, when we buy a car, there's an old saying, kick the tire and slam the door before you buy the car. Take it for a test drive. So please come out here, volunteer.
Get to know the food bank.
Get to know the food bank. Don't just trust us, and don't have to. And we are actually not after money donation as the main thing. Our real goal is to get more Indians to get engaged. There are 200,000 Indians in North Texas. That's my understanding. We have hardly touched 2,000, right? So where are the remaining 198,000? Right? They
We'll
need
be
to.
on their way.
They need to be hearing this thing. They need to get involved because the world needs to see what a great community this is.
Absolutely, that's a great message, Raj, and hats off to you, and thank you so much for your commitment to this project. And we will definitely give you hands continuously.
Thank you.
Great.
Very
And
much.
thank you so much for helping us reach more people.
Absolutely. Before we even close this one, that I also want to let you all know our active volunteer, Mr. Dalil, he also gave how, if you're attending Anand Bazaar, there's a lot of option that he already explained in detail how you can get involved.
Let me just add one thing if I may. Just FYI, Anand Bazaar, Dilip has already spoken about that, so I won't repeat that. But there are two very exciting programs that are coming up. One for children and one for seniors. Seniors is happening today. We are doing the first ever Indian American Seniors Volunteer. If this thing takes off, we will have a dedicated shift just for volunteers every month. So our Indian community members, senior people can come in and volunteer. Several of them are posted. So we are very excited about the fact that we have got that started. Secondly, this has been Aranda's vision from day one, how to get the kids involved. We have 3 grandkids and, so what we are doing is we are going to be launching a piggy bank program. So next, on August 10th, when they come to the Anand Bazaar booth, you will see this beautiful piggy bank and a kids specific program we are rolling out, where parents can procure a piggy bank, and then every quarter, we're going to have a kids party here. Kids will bring their piggy bank, their money will be added, counted, credited to them, and they will be told how many meals they have enabled.
Wow. That's a
Right?
great
Every
way of
quarter we're planning to do that.
Our grandson has already started
Yeah.
sneaking money away and putting it. It's like,
for a good cause.
yeah, he says, when I get my piggy bank, I'm going to put it all in it.
In there. So yeah, this is
So
something
we want those conversations to start happening at an earlier age. Our
And also
children-
that's a great way of motivating kids towards
Exactly.
committing themselves.
The giving
really
side of
work
it.
right.
Yep.
So, well, thank you so much for joining, and looking forward to hear the updates and all the information that is going to be talked today, and also like how you can reach out to us is going to be presented in this magazine. So just if you are visiting your local grocery store, make sure that you actually visit the front desk and just grab one of the copies,
Yep.
read in detail like what this project is about, and also how you can contribute.
Thank
Thank you, topic for you. I really appreciate that, Shilpa and Anu. We really appreciate you giving us this opportunity. As Anna said earlier, awareness is key, and this is a platform that can provide awareness across the Indian community. Thank you for all you do and giving us this opportunity.